Scorpio, let us begin here. In this quiet moment where your name seems to echo not from a human voice but from something older, something that belongs to the pulse of the sky itself, you may not have asked for it, and yet it comes anyway. Like a wave that finds the shore, whether it is invited or not. There has been a shift in the unseen spaces around you, and you have likely already felt it without being able to explain it. A tension in your body, a strange restlessness in your sleep. The way ordinary words from ordinary people suddenly land with more weight than they should, that is the sign. Scorpio, something is being revealed about you, not from outside but from the deep current that runs through you, and though you may wish to ignore it, you will not be able to. The reason is simple: when the universe calls your name, there is no turning away. The message that comes is not wrapped in beauty or softened by ease. It arrives in the voice of an elder presence. The kind that feels both protective and relentless. The kind that does not flatter but instead names the truth directly. Imagine it as an old spirit, a grandfather of sorts, who has been watching you in silence for years, who has seen you fall, rebuild, and walk through fire without telling anyone how much it burned. That presence is speaking now. Not to confuse you, but to tell you what you already sense, but have not admitted fully. There is something inside you that has always known the way, and it is time to stop hiding it. Scorpio, you are used to carrying your burdens without complaint, to holding your secrets, even when they weigh like iron. You have lived with the belief that no one else can carry them as you can. And in many ways, you are right. Your path has been marked by betrayals that forced you to grow stronger, by silences that taught you to rely on yourself, and by the constant demand to transform each loss into a lesson. But hear this: those years of carrying, enduring, and surviving were never meant to be the whole story. They were the preparation for the revelation that is unfolding now. The universe does not ask you to keep surviving forever. It asks you to understand what those scars have forged within you, and to see that the person you have become is not simply a fighter, but a bearer of a truth that can no longer remain buried. Perhaps you feel the unease already. Something in your life has stopped flowing the way it used to. Maybe it is your relationships, where conversations fall flat or where you sense someone seeing more of you than you wish to show. Maybe it is your work, where the old motivations no longer give you energy, where success tastes hollow. Or maybe it is your own reflection, a feeling that the face you show to the world is only half the story, and that the deeper self waits impatiently for you to open the door. That restlessness is not a flaw. It is not weakness. It is your soul's alarm bell ringing, insisting that you are on the edge of a revelation that cannot be postponed. Understand this. Scorpio, the truth being unveiled is not an abstract lesson. It is not about vague inspiration. It is about identity. Someone close to you has recently caught a glimpse of who you really are. Perhaps through words you did not mean to speak. Perhaps through silence you thought concealed you. Or perhaps simply by being in your presence long enough to feel the power you try so carefully to hide. That recognition changes everything. You may feel exposed, and yes, exposure has never been something you welcome. But this time it is different. This is not the exposure of betrayal. This is the exposure of truth. The kind that allows you to step out from under the old weight of playing roles that no longer serve you. The message is clear: you cannot continue pretending to be smaller than you are. You cannot continue to carry only what is necessary for survival and ignore the deeper current that wants more. The universe is asking you to claim your place, not in arrogance but in honesty. Your presence affects others whether you intend it or not. When you enter a room, dynamics shift. When you speak, even softly, people listen. When you remain silent, your silence still changes the atmosphere. This is the gift and the burden of your sign. Scorpio, transformation follows you because transformation lives within you. and it is not something you can set aside when convenient. For too long, you have believed that your depth makes you difficult, that your intensity pushes people away, that your honesty costs too much. But the truth is the opposite. Your depth is the very reason you are here. Your intensity is not a flaw, but a light that cuts through illusions. Your honesty, even when it unsettles, is the medicine that others cannot find anywhere else. To hide these things is to deny not only yourself, but the purpose for which you were shaped. The universe is done with your hiding. It is done with your excuses. It is saying, through this moment of revelation, step forward. And yes, Scorpio, there will be consequences. Not everyone will welcome the true version of you. Some will envy, some will misunderstand, some will walk away because they cannot handle the weight of authenticity, but you must let them go. The truth of who you are cannot be dimmed to protect fragile illusions. Those who are meant for you will not be frightened. They will be drawn. They will be awakened. They will rise to meet you at the level you now claim. And as painful as it is to release those who cannot, you already know this, you have survived greater losses before, and each time you have risen stronger, this time will be no different. Think of your journey as a long descent into the depths. You have walked through tunnels where no one else dared to go. You have carried shadows on your back, and you have built a fortress in your silence. But now the voice of that elder presence, that spiritual grandfather, is standing at the mouth of the tunnel, calling you back into the light, not to erase what you have been through, but to remind you that you did not descend only for yourself. You descended to bring back what others are too afraid to touch. That is your gift. Scorpio, not survival, not secrecy, but transformation. The ability to look into darkness and return with truth. The days ahead will ask you to step into this openly. No more half measures. No more delay. The ground is shifting beneath your feet because the universe is aligning to your next chapter. And you will not be able to force things back to the way they were. What is collapsing is not punishment. It is the dismantling of roles, masks, and structures that no longer match who you truly are. What rises in their place is yet unknown, but it will carry your name written on it. Your real name, not the one you use to keep yourself safe. So prepare yourself. Scorpio, this is not a time for comfort. It is a time for awakening. You are being shown who you are. And now the choice is yours, whether you will deny it again or step fully into it. Remember this, when the universe whispers your name, it is not a suggestion. It is a summons. And the reason it summons you now is because your time has come. Scorpio, the unease you have been carrying lately is not a random heaviness nor a passing mood. It is the deep pull of your soul reminding you that something vital is missing, that the life you are living as it stands is not enough to sustain the truth of who you are becoming. The sense of restlessness, the sudden emptiness in routines that once kept you grounded, the quiet ache you cannot fully name, these are not signs of weakness. They are signals. They are the call to look beyond the surface and recognize the divine design that has always been coded into your path. The blueprint that can heal old fractures and restore the peace you have been searching for in all the wrong places. You are being asked not simply to endure, but to step into alignment with that design, to finally let your spirit breathe in the open air of authenticity. And as this inner stirring grows stronger, something remarkable is happening outside of you as well. Someone close, perhaps closer than you realized, has seen through the layers you so carefully constructed, has looked past the armor and caught a glimpse of the real force within you. This recognition is not accidental. It is written into the movement of the planets, into the current flow of destiny. Their vision of you, their sudden clarity, arrives as a mirror held up at the precise moment when cosmic energies shift. When alignments conspire to reveal what can no longer remain hidden, this is a turning point. Scorpio, a doorway that will not close again. You may resist it. You may fear what it means to be truly seen. But the truth is that your essence has already been unveiled, and the only step left is to walk forward into the life that now awaits you. Scorpio, the moment has come when hiding yourself is no longer possible. Nor is it acceptable to the deeper truth of your being. For too long, you have lived in fragments, offering pieces of yourself where they felt safe, cloaking your fire under layers of composure, and measuring how much of your light the world could handle without reacting. You have become skilled at concealment, at shaping silence into protection, and at giving only what would not cost too much. But this concealment, though it once helped you survive, has now turned against you. It is not protection anymore, it is suffocation. The universe, through the restlessness you feel and through the mirrors held up by others, is telling you that the days of dimming your light are finished. Your light, Scorpio, is not soft or easily ignored. It is sharp, magnetic, and transformative. The kind of presence that shifts the atmosphere simply by existing. When you walk into a room, people notice even if you say nothing. When you speak, you do not need many words. The weight of your truth changes the current of the conversation, even in silence. Your eyes carry more than entire speeches. You have long underestimated this, thinking of it as too much, too heavy, too dangerous, when in truth it is your gift. It is the essence of who you are. And denying it has cost you more than you realize. The disconnection you feel, the exhaustion, the heaviness that seems to return no matter how much you rest, these are the consequences of living below your own frequency. So hear this, you are not here to play small. You are not here to live behind masks built to make others comfortable. You are not here to perform versions of yourself that others can understand while your soul starves in the background. You are here to be the full force of what you are unapologetically. That does not mean loudness or aggression, it means truth. It means daring to live from the center of your being, allowing your desires, your values, and your boundaries to be known, even when they disturb, even when they are not accepted by everyone. Because the truth is, Scorpio, not everyone deserves to have access to you. You carry an energy that is rare, a depth that many cannot hold without trembling. And this is not arrogance. It is fact. Your soul works like a mirror when others are near you. They see themselves more clearly, both their beauty and their shadows. Some rise to this challenge, becoming more honest, more awake, more real. Others recoil, afraid of what you awaken in them. Both reactions are about them, not about you. But for too long, you have internalized their fear, their jealousy, their projections, and tried to shrink yourself so as not to provoke it. That time is done. Your task now is to protect your energy, not by dimming it, but by building boundaries so that only those who are ready, willing, and safe may come close enough to feel it. Think of your energy as a sacred temple. Not everyone who passes by should walk inside. Not everyone who admires the light through the windows is meant to sit at your altar. There must be doors, and those doors must be guarded by your discernment. This means paying attention not only to words but to actions, to the subtle way your body reacts in someone's presence, to the heaviness or ease that arises when you leave a conversation. These signals are not paranoia. They are guidance. Your intuition is one of your greatest powers. And it is through this inner compass that you will know who is safe to let in and who must remain outside your walls. Boundaries, Scorpio, are not punishments. They are not walls of bitterness. They are expressions of self-respect, lines drawn in the ground that say, I know my worth. I know my limits. And I will not let you trespass upon the space that is mine to protect. Too often, you have allowed others to come closer than they deserved, to drink from your well without giving back, to lean on your strength while dismissing your vulnerability. You gave because you wanted to be seen, because you hoped they would recognize the gift you are, but now you understand that giving without discernment only leads to depletion. You cannot carry everyone. You cannot heal those who refuse to face their wounds. You cannot make yourself smaller in exchange for acceptance. This is the shift you must live, as though your energy is the most precious resource you own, because it is. Money can be earned again. Time can sometimes be reclaimed. But energy, once drained, takes from your life in ways nothing else can. Protect it fiercely. Choose carefully who is allowed into your heart, your home, your bed, your mind. Not everyone deserves entree, and those who prove themselves by their consistency, their honesty, their willingness to meet you as an equal, those are the ones you nurture. Those are the ones you pour into. Those are the ones who are worthy of standing beside you in the chapters to come. Scorpio, the universe is not asking you to become hard or cold. It is asking you to become sovereign, to recognize that your light is not common, and therefore it cannot be shared indiscriminately. This is not selfishness. It is alignment. By protecting yourself, you ensure that the energy you do give is clean, intentional, and powerful, not resentful or depleted. By choosing who has access, you honor both yourself and those who truly value you. And yes, it will feel uncomfortable at first. Those who have benefited from your silence, your compliance, or your willingness to carry more than your share will resist. They may accuse you of being distant, selfish, or unkind. But let their words fall away. Their discomfort is proof that your boundaries are working. You are no longer feeding dynamics that drained you. You are no longer offering pieces of yourself to those who cannot honor the whole. The truth, Scorpio, is that you are stepping into a new kind of authority, the authority of authenticity. No longer living for others' comfort. You live for your soul's clarity. No longer hiding your power. You wield it with compassion but without apology. And in this state, you will attract those who are not intimidated by your intensity but inspired by it. Not threatened by your honesty but grateful for it. Not jealous of your depth but willing to meet you there. This is how your relationships transform. This is how your career evolves. This is how your health strengthens. Because when you stop betraying yourself by hiding, if you release the tension that has been eating at you for years, you return to your natural frequency, and from there, everything aligns. So let this be clear, you cannot go back to the old way. You cannot return to the days of minimizing your worth for approval. The revelation has already occurred. Someone has seen who you truly are. You yourself have glimpsed it. Once seen, it cannot be unseen. The light is out. The only choice left is whether you will claim it or spend the rest of your life running from it. But you already know the truth. Scorpio, running has only ever left you more tired, more restless, more empty. Claiming it, even with all the risk, is the only path that promises peace. Step forward now, not in arrogance but in quiet certainty. Let your presence speak. Let your truth stand. Guard your temple with discernment. And let your energy be given only where it can grow. For this is the turning point of your life. And your worth can no longer be denied, not by others, and not by yourself. Scorpio, the truth of your path is not one of quiet observation alone, nor of endless endurance for its own sake, but of becoming a living architect of reality, one whose very presence reshapes the spaces it inhabits and awakens those who have fallen asleep to their own truth. You are not here merely to absorb the shadows of others or to navigate endless cycles of loss and renewal. Though this has been much of your training until now, you are here to hold the kind of authority that does not demand obedience but compels transformation. Your mission is not about power in the narrow sense. not about dominance or control, but about standing as a structure, a foundation, upon which others may finally find stability in their own unraveling journeys. The gift you carry is the ability to look at what is broken and not turn away, to reach into what others fear to touch, and to bring from it a blueprint for healing, for truth, for renewal. Think of yourself as a builder who works not only with stone and wood, but with silence, with words, with energy. Every choice you make is a brick laid in a structure that will outlast you. And every encounter you have is an opportunity to guide others into a deeper authenticity simply by embodying your own. This is not something you need to force. It flows from you naturally when you are aligned, because the vibration of your truth challenges illusions, and your willingness to walk through fire shows others that it can be done. This is the meaning of being an architect of reality. Scorpio, not that you design life according to your will, but that you align yourself so fully with what is real, what is necessary, what is enduring, that reality itself bends and reforms around your integrity. There will be resistance to this. There always is when someone carries the power to shift collective patterns. Your intensity, your clarity, that your refusal to live in half-truths, these will provoke those who prefer comfort to authenticity. Some will resent you for what you awaken in them. Some will misjudge your motives, mistaking your depth for manipulation or your truth for cruelty, because they cannot yet imagine what it is like to live without masks. But understand this, your mission is not to win approval. It is not to be liked by everyone. It is to hold the line of transformation with such steadiness that those who are ready will find the courage to step across it. This is why you are compared to a beacon, a lighthouse standing on the edge of storm-tossed seas. The lighthouse does not chase ships. It does not beg to be noticed. And it does not dim its light for fear of blinding those unprepared. It simply shines, consistently, faithfully, knowing that those who need it will find their way by its glow. You, Scorpio, are this lighthouse for your community, your family, your work, and the circles you touch, even when you feel unseen. Even when you believe your efforts have been wasted, others have been guided silently by your endurance, your courage, and your refusal to give up when all seemed lost. That influence has already been at work, and now, as your light grows stronger, it will become undeniable. Your mission is to be both healer and catalyst. You do not heal in the soft way of smoothing over wounds and telling people what they want to hear. You heal in the deeper way, by refusing to let illusions stand, by drawing others into confrontation with their truth, and by holding them steady when they tremble before it. Your mere presence has always done this, even before you recognized it. Friends and strangers alike have confessed things to you they had never spoken aloud. Partners have been unsettled not because you harmed them, but because your presence stirred what they were unwilling to face. Enemies have feared you because they sensed that you could see through the layers they used to shield themselves. All of this is evidence of the medicine you carry. It is not comfortable, but it is real. And the world needs it now more than ever. And so we come to the turning point that cannot be reversed. Scorpio, you are not simply in a period of transition, you are in a rebirth that will not let you return to what you were before. Once a soul has glimpsed its true shape, it cannot fit back into the costume of survival, cannot unlearn what it has learned, cannot unknow what it has seen. You have crossed that threshold already. Whether you fully admit it to yourself or not, the days of hiding, of pretending that your light is too dangerous, of bending yourself into roles that do not fit, those days are over. You may try to hold on to them for a time out of habit or fear, but you will find the effort impossible. Like trying to return to a skin that has already been shed. This rebirth is not a single event, but a process. Yet it is irreversible. It begins with the recognition that your energy is sacred and must be guarded. It deepens as you allow your true voice to rise, even when it shakes, It expands as you stop apologizing for your depth, for your intensity, for your refusal to settle for illusions, and it culminates in the steady knowing that you are exactly who you were meant to be. Not in spite of your wounds, but because of them. Because they forged in you the resilience and clarity that are now your greatest tools. As this new cycle unfolds, you will notice opportunities emerging that you could not have imagined before. Where once doors were closed, they now open with surprising ease. Where once relationships drained you, new ones arrive that feel balanced, aligned, nourishing. Where once you struggled for recognition, your work now begins to speak for itself and attracts attention that validates your true gifts. This is not luck. This is alignment. The universe is not rewarding you as if you were a child given a prize for good behavior. It is responding to the frequency you now carry. When you live in truth, the world around you reorganizes to match it. Material success will come, but not in the old way. Not through endless struggle. Not through burning yourself out to prove your worth. Not through fighting battles that are not yours to fight. It will come through integrity, through alignment, through allowing your authentic self to stand visible without apology. This is how opportunities find you when you radiate what is real. Others who are attuned to it will recognize it and offer what resonates. The success you build now will not drain you, because it will be rooted in who you truly are rather than in who you thought you needed to be. And alongside this success will come peace, not the fragile peace of silence after conflict, but the enduring peace of knowing you are where you belong, doing what you were meant to do, living without masks. This peace will not mean an absence of challenge, for challenges will always come, but it will mean that you meet them with clarity rather than confusion, with purpose rather than fear. That inner stillness is the deepest blessing of this rebirth, the one that sustains you through every other change. Scorpio, understand that this journey is not only for you. Your rebirth is not a private matter, though it feels intensely personal. It is part of the larger fabric, part of the collective shift that requires people like you to step into visibility, to become lighthouses, to remind others of what is possible. Every step you take in authenticity creates ripples that reach further than you know. The courage you embody inspires others who have been hiding. The boundaries you build show others how to protect themselves. The truth you speak, even in small ways, cracks open illusions that others have been trapped in for years. Your mission is not to fix everyone, but simply to live your truth so fully that it gives permission for others to do the same. This is the promise of your irreversible rebirth, that you will no longer betray yourself by hiding, that you will claim your role as architect, healer, and beacon, and that in doing so, you will find both success and peace. You may not see the full picture yet, and you do not need to trust that the blueprint is already written in the stars, in the movements of planets that mark your steps, in the silent guidance that rises in your own body. All that is asked of you is to keep walking, to keep choosing truth, to keep protecting your light so that it shines clean and steady. And so, Scorpio, let this moment settle in you. Let it remind you that the old life is gone and the new one is here. Let it quiet the doubts that tell you to shrink back. Let it anchor you in the knowing that you are not only ready but destined for this. The path ahead will not be simple, but it will be true. And that is all you have ever really wanted: to live without masks, to love without fear, to build without compromise, to shine without apology. This is your time, and there is no going back.